Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to talk about. I guess kind of talk about this. I want to do another mock draft. The NFL draft's on Thursday, so I just want to get this mock draft here done for Tuesday. I think it's my fourth or fifth one. You'll see in the title when it's uploaded. I'll do a mock draft the day of the draft, my final one. The day of the NFL draft, so yeah, it's gonna be a interesting NFL draft, man. So we're gonna run to the picks. Number one, still Cam Ward. After watching Will Levis, regress in 2024, the Titans' second-year coach Brian Callahan coming back. I don't think he's taking any chances this year. And Ward, the Titans get a prolific college quarterback who, led the Miami Hurricanes last season. Didn't make the playoffs, lost a few games near the end of the season. But he had 43 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions, over 4,000 passing yards. And the Titans need a quarterback. And he's the best one here, so he goes number one to Tennessee. Not saying Tennessee, the Titans will make the playoffs. I think it will make them better. Number two, Cleveland Browns. And mind you, these mock drafts are without trades, so I don't know what trades will happen in the night of the draft. I'm just picking these picks in order when inevitably there's somebody trades. The Browns, number two. I haven't taken Travis Hunter. Shedeur Sanders, I did consider him here, but I think the Browns will wait another year before they completely start over at quarterback. Besides, the opportunity to draft a player like Travis Hunter doesn't come around very often. The Browns, could be getting the first two-way player in the NFL seen since Deion Sanders. And the Browns could use an athlete, really good athlete like that. I think it'd be a better pick than, picking Shedeur Sanders at number two, in my opinion, because I don't think he's going to be that good. Number three, I have the Giants taking Abdul Carter, edge rusher. Once again, I did consider Shedeur, but I think the Giants will wait to take a QB until the 34th pick. If a highly ranked prospect falls to them at that spot, and besides, the Giants' initial renaissance back in the the 80s, 1980s, started with a draft selection of Lawrence Taylor. Obviously, I'm not comparing Abdul Carter to Lawrence Taylor, but it's only fitting that, the Big Blue drafts another menacing defender in the first round in an effort to, jumpstart the franchise again. For the Patriots at number four, I felt they're going to take Will Campbell, offensive tackle, out of LSU. There was a report I saw that they can most likely take Will Campbell, or something along those lines. I think it's going to happen. And you forget, the Patriots dynasty in some way started with the second round selection of future Pro Bowl left tackle Matt Lyon in 2001, the year New England won its first Super Bowl, and nearly 25 years later, Mike Vrabel, former teammate of Lyon's, will likely kick off his tenure as Patriots coach by selecting the top-ranked offensive tackle prospect. At offensive tackle, they need some offensive line help, to protect Drake May, and that's a good start with Will Campbell. Number five, Mason Graham, defensive lineman out of Michigan. He might be an offensive coach, but Liam Cohen's first pick as a Jaguars head coach will likely be spent on defender. The defender will probably be Graham, because he made his presence in the middle of the Michigan defense in 2023, helped deliver the school's first national title in 26 years, and they need a big-time player up front in their front seven, and Mason Graham's that player. Number six, for the Raiders. Ashton Jeanty I have going here, sadly. I mean, it doesn't get more Raiders Pete Carroll than selecting a physical running back like Jeanty. He's coming off one of the finest individual rushing seasons in college football history. 5'9", 216. He averaged 7 yards per carry and did not have a single game where he didn't run for at least 100 yards. And Pete Carroll likes those physical running backs. He had Marshawn Lynch. And he wants a physical running back. Number 7, the Jets, I think, take Armand Membu, offensive tackle. I could see the Raiders taking him, but I think they take GNT. And for the Jets, I think they take Mimbo here because it's an issue for years. The Jets take a big step towards fixing their pass protection by selecting Mimbo, who secured his status as a top 10 pick after he had impressive showcasing during the NFL scouting combine with his speed. So Armand Mimbo, number 8. I don't think this is a reach here, but some people might consider it. But I think Mike Green, number 8 to the Panthers. If edge rushers were drafted this year based off production, Green would hands down be the first one to come off the board. In 2024, he led the entire nation with 17 sacks, also pacing the Sun Belt Conference with 23 tackles for loss. Sure, he didn't play in the toughest conference, but that shouldn't be held against him. That's just how good he is. And the Panthers, they need defense. And I think they get Mike Green, one of the top edge rushers. Number 9, Tutoria McMillan to the New Orleans Saints. Once again, Shedeur was considered here, but despite a lot of noise, it doesn't appear that the Saints are taking quarterback this early in the draft. And they simply have too many other needs, and would be better off taking the best remaining player on the board, and that would be McMillan. 6'5" wideout, average 16.1 yards per catch at Arizona. Had 8 touchdowns, 1,319 yards. They need a receiver, need a playmaker. Chicago, Kelvin Banks. The Bears signed 3 potential starters on the offensive line during free agency with the 10th pick. They'll address the final part of the line, which is left tackle that needed upgrading. Banks can also line up at guard if they need him to do so. But yeah, this has to be an offensive line pick here. Number 11, Jalen Walker, the 49ers. They can find a versatile player who can help the defense in multiple areas. That Dre Greenlaw replacement. He's drawn comparisons to Kyle Van Noy, who last year's age 33 season was named the Pro Bowl after recording 12.5 sacks for the Ravens. 6'1", 243. My Cowboys, I haven't taken Matthew Golden. Some names I did consider was like Ashton Jeanty, but I don't think he's fallen this far. I don't think he could. McMillan, maybe, if he gets past the Saints, but I don't think he will. I'm going to go Matthew Golden. He was really good last year, man. 987 yards, 9 touchdowns. A million years ago, the Cowboys had another receiver named Gold who caught a touchdown in their second Super Bowl. I just wanted to talk up my Cowboys. I just think we need a receiver too. The way it sounds like we're going to take offensive line, but the 2 offensive linemen that I would consider taking are gone. So you need to get some more offensive help. You need a second receiver to CeeDee Lamb. Matthew Golden's that guy. Towards the end of the season there with the Texas Longhorns, he really come along. Stepped up as their wide receiver 1. Number 13, the Dolphins take Will Johnson, a cornerback here. It came down to him and Kenneth Grant, but I think Miami needs a cornerback, and Johnson was widely considered the corner position's best prospect in the draft prior to last year's injuries. They also need a cornerback as well. Tyler Warren, the Colts at 14. Linebacker and defensive line and tight end are the 3 positions they could use this pick on, so it'll likely come down to them taking the best available player, and it'll most likely be Warren to give Anthony Richardson another weapon, with Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr., Downs, give him another weapon there. Because Tyler Warren's freaking beast, man. Over 1,233 yards, 12 touchdowns. The Falcons, I think, taking edge rusher Donovan, how do you say his name? Eziraku. He's coming off a 16.5 sack season in 2024, tied the single season record for Boston College. Yes, out of Boston College. But there's no consensus as to what player that will be. They're widely expected to take an edge rusher if they actually do. I'm just gonna say Donovan Ezeriku out of Boston College. The edge rusher freaking class is stacked this year, man. If Mike Green is off the board here, this is who I think they'll take. That freaking edge rusher class is stacked this year. I have the Cardinals taking Jahdae Barron out of Texas corner with a 16th pick. It makes a lot of sense for the Cardinals because they were just 24th in the NFL in reception recorded. 2024, Barron picked off 5 passes last year and being a nice compliment to Garrett Williams. The Cardinals ascending slot corner. I think it'll be a good pairing. The Bengals, 17th pick. I think they take defensive lineman Derek Harmon. I think a pass rusher is needed, to pair up with Trey Hendrickson. But the Bengals may not take a chance on one this early after swinging and missing two. It's going Miles Murphy. With Derek Harmon, they're getting disruptive force on the defensive line, who made some good improvements as a pass rusher in 2024. It's going to be a defensive pick. I don't see how this is. The Seahawks, Nick Emmanuel, if that's how you say his name, out of South Carolina, safety with the 18th pick. I think offensive line is a need, but I think it would be hard for them, Mike McDonald, pass up on the chance to draft Emmanuel, who's one of the best drafts, best overall athletes. Mike McDonald likes his athletes. He could use him similarly. I'm sorry, I can't say the fucking word. I'm not part of the nerd community. Kind of similar to how he used Kyle Hamilton during his time as the Ravens defensive corner. I'm not saying Nick Emmanuel is Kyle Hamilton, but he could try and use him like that. Number 19, the Bucks. With the 19th pick, I think I have them taking Jahad Campbell, linebacker in Alabama. It's one of the easier picks to predict if he's still here, because they're slated a linebacker who filled the stat sheet last year. He had 117 tackles, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, an interception, fumble recovery. And they're slated to get a linebacker, so I think they'll take the Broncos at number 20. I think they take Omarion Hampton. They get a premier running back to help take the load off of Bo Nix, second-year quarterback. Hampton had a great career, man, in college. That included leading the ACC in rushing each of the past 2 years. He also rushed for 30 touchdowns, and last year he had 1,660 yards, 17 touchdowns, 5.9 per carry. He's got to be a first rounder. If he falls in the second round, he'll be a steal. But yeah, I have him going to the Broncos here. They need a running back, because running backs really haven't been good for them past few seasons. So they need to get a prolific running back. Steelers haven't taken Walter Nolan, defensive lineman. They're reportedly targeting both Nolan and Harmon, and will likely draft whoever's still on the board at this point. Soon one of them has been picked by now. My guess it'll be Nolan will be picked for a pick. They could pursue running back or quarterback with this pick if both Harmon and Nolan off the board, though. We'll have to see. Number 22, I have the Chargers taking Colston Loveland. Jim Harbaugh can get one of his former Michigan players who can help open things for Herbert. I know his stats don't look the best from last year, but they didn't really have a good quarterback, and he's a good tight end. And it's Jim Harbaugh. Michigan, Jim Harbaugh. Makes sense. Mika Igbokwe, I have known at 23, the Packers. Green Bay finally takes receiver in the first round, and Igbokwe, versatile player, he got 81 passes last year for over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns his final season as a Buckeye at 205 catches. He hardly drops the ball. Number 24, I have the Vikings taking Malachi Starks. He's a reliable tackler with impressive ball skills. It makes a lot of sense, given departures of Kenyon Bynum's departure, Harrison Smith getting closer to retirement. You have your future safety there, Malachi Starks. I have the Texans taking Tyler Booker, interior offensive lineman. They're widely expected to take an offensive lineman here, and it'd be a great pick to take Tyler Booker, who allowed just half a sack during his final year at Alabama. He was a very good pass protector. I have the Rams taking Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky, my boy Maxwell Hairston. He ran the fastest he was definitely the fastest cornerback after running 4.28 in the combine, but he's not just he's fast. He's really good man-to-man. He's not just a fast corner. He's fast, and he's just good one-on-one as well. So yeah, they'll get. Whoever gets him's gonna be lucky. Michael Williams, they went with the Ravens, edge rusher. They have other needs, offensive line and cornerback, but I think you take Michael Williams here. The Lions take Kenneth Grant, Detroit, Michigan, and you can supply some defensive line help up there. I have the James Pierce Jr. falling to the We Are Commanders, at 29. I think they'll take a chance. I would be surprised if he's still on the board here, but this is kind of a little bold, but I have him going at 29. 30, I have Siobhan Revel going to the Bills. His draft stock might be impacted by that season-ending knee injury, but I think this will be a good pick here. I have Josh Connerly going to the Chiefs, and then I have the Giants trading back up, mock trade with the Eagles, my one trade, and I have them jumping back up at 32 to trade for Shedeur. So that's my mock draft. Like, comes craft more, and text I'm out. Peace.